Hello. I still cannot fix my camera. So that's fun. Um, I don't know. I'll keep trying, but this is the best I can do right now. So if you wonder why there's lights going on in the background, well, it just is. It's funny because I feel like the last time I did this, it was okay, and now it's not. I don't know what I've really done different, but at least I'm well lit, I suppose. My camera doesn't think so, but what can you do? We're not here for that anyway. We're not here for my ugly mug. So it's a good job that my ugly mug isn't like the main, the main thing here, right? No, it's Digimon. So let's continue. Now pray tell, I could start off on a high, right? I could. So I'm gonna start on a high by not doing that. You know what? I need a refresher real quick. So I'm gonna go and speak to Angemon. Also, I don't know if I got the meat, so I'm gonna remember if I got the meat on the last session. So it's been a week. I've been playing tons and tons of Crisis Core. I know. I've been making that my priority. Just because it's well, I say it's a new game. It's a new experience of an old game that I used to play years ago, and I'm really enjoying it. And like I say, I want to play it a ton. Digimon is fine. It's just we're kind of just casually going through this. We've seen everything we've got to see of this game. We know this game. I haven't even played Crisis Core on stream before because it's locked behind the PSP. You know, um, and honestly, maybe for the best because this version is just so much better. But anyway, Fridays are of course still reserved for now for Digimon. Once Crisis Core is done, I will probably just carry on with Digimon until that is done, and then we'll go over some things. I'll talk about some possible games I want to stream and such. I do have some ideas. Yeah, I know. You gotta be brave enough to try climbing a dangerous cliff at least once. You say that, and I'm assuming you're talking about that fool, but what does that have to do with recruitment? Yeah, right. I gotta look for Nanny Mom. But since I've got Tyrannomon, I want to train. I know it's boring, but it has to be done. So, uh, we got Mega Dramon before from a different Digivolution. The other Digivolution that Tyrannomon can Digivolve is Metal Greymon. Now, I thought it was Metal Mummymon, but it seems that's not the case. It seems I got that wrong. I thought it was Metal Mummymon, but apparently it's Metal Greymon. So, we're actually going to get Metal Greymon this time. Okay, I'm missing some fighting moves. Right. Yeah, I couldn't get the last two. It's okay. We're gonna get them eventually, right? I didn't mean to do that. That was a mistake. Too late. Almost. 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 Okay. Right. So, here's the lowdown. We need 4,000 HP at least. I did not mean to do that. At least 3,000 MP. We need 500 offense, 500 defense, and 300 speed and brains. I believe that is what's needed. Defense, well, pretty much anything other than like health, magic points, and oh yeah, he eats a lot, doesn't he? That's fine. Look at all these sirloins. Um, he'll soon go through them, I'm sure, eventually. But oops, yeah. I have the easiest time with health, magic. Damn it. Well, I say that and I'm failing right now. I don't think I've got my glasses on. Hello, Footloose. How's it going? Okay, that's better. I don't know. I'm terrible at getting like anything else on the reel. I very rarely can I do defense. Um, I can do the magic points and I can do the offense one, which I guess I don't know. Is it supposed to be like a mouth with teeth? Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, anything else I struggle with. Just waiting for Christmas to be over. I feel that. Um, I don't know if you want to go into. I don't know if you want to go into why. That's obviously up to you if you want to. If anything you want to talk about. But yeah. I can relate. I can definitely relate. We're not celebrating it this year. Which will be strange because I think this is the first time we haven't. Um, I'm just getting some meat just in case. I mean, it's the first time we haven't celebrated Christmas like ever, right? Um, yeah, for various reasons. But you know, it is what it is. There will be other Christmases. I've had other Christmases. You know, it's really not a big deal. I hate to say it, but part of me feels like I am sort of becoming a Scrooge as I get older. You know, regardless of what's going on in my life. Like I don't hate Christmas, right? I mean, hearing Mariah Carey for like the millionth time does grind my gears. I'm not gonna lie. You know, the Christmas songs are actually the worst part of Christmas, if you ask me. I can't. I just whatever. Like go away. Um, the only thing I tend to like about Christmas these days is honestly the food. We usually have a nice feast. Um, yeah, I'll eat, and we'll have snacks and stuff. But that's kind of it. I don't really care much for watching like Christmas themed shows or Christmas film, you know, old Christmas films. You know, I'll get a laugh out of watching Home Alone and Home Alone 2 because they always show them every year. But then they also show them every year. And it's like, as much as I love those films, I can also watch those films at any time. And it's like, you know, I don't know, just not feeling it. It's even worse. It's worse this year for obviously various reasons. But yeah, I don't know. Like my mum would usually be more interested in Christmas than me. Maybe it's because I'm not a kid anymore. I don't have that Christmas spirit. I didn't believe in Santa, man. I didn't believe hard enough. Did you know there's a Christmas themed outfit for Sonic in Sonic Frontiers, which might be out already? I don't actually know. I enjoy the food and the wine. Yeah, I don't. We don't drink alcohol, but my dad does sometimes. But like me and my mum don't. Um, Not that my mum like isn't like someone who drinks alcohol. She's not me, but I mean like she doesn't really drink much anyway. She drunk more when she was younger, right? In her youth, she doesn't really drink anymore. Well, so she hasn't. She just drank alcohol for years, like me. Um, but yeah, the food. That's about it. I'm boring. Other than that, business as usual for me, really. I will say I am streaming tomorrow on Christmas Eve. And then I will be back on Tuesday, which is after Boxing Day. So, and I probably won't have finished Crisis Core by then. So we'll probably continue Crisis Core. We're I'm about half. I'd say I'm probably over halfway now in terms of Crisis Core. Because really, if you mostly book it to the story of Crisis Core, the game's not super long. It's no Final Fantasy VII. You know what I mean? It's not 3 discs. It's just one. Yeah, I think wasn't it just one? I think it was just one. Yeah, there were actually some PSP games. I think well there were actually two. I think like two little UMD discs. I think that's what they used to call them, right? UMD discs. I still have them somewhere. Um, I still have them somewhere, but just not a fan. Fundamentally draining. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Yeah, I get you on that. I get you on that. Like I say, I think we just get old, and I feel like I feel like maybe I don't know. It depends if you get something out of it, right? I suppose, but like I feel like we might enjoy it more. Maybe like if one day we have kids, right? And you might be happy for them, right? Um, sort of thing. Like my sister's although I don't think she's too bothered about where she's going this year, but like, she's got her newborn, and now this will technically be his first Christmas, which is cool, and he's going to be one soon, like officially one, because he's like several months old, in like January I think it was, so not too long, and it'll be his first birthday, first official birthday, so that's cool, but yeah, like I think she's like more interested in Christmas because she has a child, right? Sort of thing. Even though the baby's like not even one, and he's not gonna remember it anyway, right? But yeah. So the goal at the moment is just kind of just to do what I do always do. Try and get to ultimate. Maybe learn some techniques. Um, I am thinking because we're kind of been doing the same thing. I have been thinking of maybe just mixing it up and just doing the end game story. Um, we'll see. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking of just getting it over. We're gonna have to do it eventually anyway. Um, I suppose in my head I was like, if I could leave it last, we could wrap it up nicely. But I guess it doesn't really matter. I suppose, right? Unless anyone wants me to like wait or something or leave it till later or whatever. Like unless like anyone wants me to like wait until I get the other medals. But the thing is that one of the medals, right? Which we can, but one of the medals is 10 years, and we've got six more years to get through. Not 6 in-game years. I mean, don't worry. Um, so we'll be faffing around doing the same thing for a while, and they even said that it's possible we might even get all Digivolutions before we even reach the 10 year thing. It's possible. I think it's what I did last time when I did a practice run a while back. I think that's what happened. I ended up like basically getting all the medals for the most part before the 10 year because I feel like if you know what you're doing, you'll definitely do it. But I am on the fourth year, so who knows? Who knows? I might not get everything done. I haven't been playing very efficiently. I've just been very casual. But I feel like I probably should pick up the pace a little bit so we can have well, more time to play. We can play other games, right? I still need to go back to Batman. I haven't forgotten. Um, I make some mistakes in life, but I'm trying to learn from them. And one of those mistakes was thinking I could marathon the Batman Arkham games. I couldn't. As much as I like those games, I got very tired. I got very, very, very tired. The stories might be different, but it's like the same characters. It's still the same combat. You're still doing the same thing, and it's just you're basically playing three of like very similar games back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and I was getting exhausted. The story wasn't enough, to keep me going. I was like, no, you need to take breaks. Plus, especially since I'm doing all of the medals, not the medals, sorry, all of the Riddler trophies. Asylum is fine. City is really long, and so is Origins and Night. I'm not looking forward to Night because Night is just City again, but arguably worse. Arkham City is a better game. I do think Arkham City, it's a cross between Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. I think for me Arkham Asylum might be my favorite, then followed by City. And then there's a toss up between Night and Origins. I want to say Night just because I think the game looks great. Like it looks really good. From the graphics from PS3 and PS4, I can definitely tell. Oops, hit my mic. I can definitely tell the jump from the graphics, and that looks great. What's my age? 6. Okay. Still got a bit of time, but the struggle is going to be. Oh shit. The struggle is going to be the other stuff, but. But as always, I don't have any New Year's resolutions because I never stick to anything. And honestly, telling myself that I want to do this and want to do that, it doesn't actually help. So I'm just like, it's like whatever happens. I just hope that next year will be better. But again, I don't really like to say that. I'd rather just, like, my mindset is just, if I want things to be better, then I have to do something about it, and that's just kind of where my head's at, really. It's like you tell yourself, it's like, man, I've had so much bad luck for so long. That surely can't continue, right? Right. Right. And it's like, not really how it works, you know, but. I think this year's been, and it's been another tired year for me, very tiresome year. You know, the highlights as usual for me are some of the video games that have come out, right? And the video game news. Um, there's also been a lot of video game drama, man. Like so much shit's been happening, right? I mean, there's lots of drama in general, but you know, like, man, you know. I know we're not in like 2020 with COVID, but you know, everyone's got their own problems, and you can still get COVID. I just learned that my neighbors have COVID. I don't know if they ever got COVID. I don't know, but they have it now, which really sucks, obviously for them. Especially since my younger neighbor, he has like health problems, which makes him quite vulnerable to COVID. But I think he's got his vaccination, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But still, like he's not in a good place to, you know what I mean. He's already vulnerable, so hopefully they recover soon. Because yeah, COVID's not fun. Even if you're vaccinated, COVID's not fun. It is not. I can only imagine what it's like to have it when you're not vaccinated. Fudge! Man, I'm getting really unlucky here. Can I just say? What does sage fruit do again? I forget. Oh, boost brains. I guess I could give it to you. Why not? I'll do that. I won't do that yet, but come on. I need to get lucky. I need to get lucky. I need to get lucky. No! The reels have failed me. And you know, some gaming stuff to look forward to next year. And such as well. Sorry. I don't really have anything planned to talk about today. Today's been okay, I suppose. It's not been great, but it's been okay, I suppose. Oh. I'm getting really unlucky, which isn't good, by the way, because I'm not going to get my stats up at this rate. It sucks. I know it's random. I don't know what the percentage is for the real. Sometimes I get really good luck. Other times this happens. And like so many times in a row. And the thing is, I know how it works in terms of like its function. I know when the reel is going to go into my favor or not. Yes, it works that way. There are times where you time it and you know if the game says yes, they will let you have it. If the game says no, it will absolutely skip it on purpose. It will read your input and it'd be like, we're not giving it to you right now. There must be some sort of percentage that tells you, what are the chances they're gonna give it to you or not. You still have to line it up, but even if you line it up, you're not guaranteed it. The game decides whether you're gonna get it or not, and I don't know what that percentage is exactly, but at the moment I'm getting pretty unlucky. Right, I'm doing the same thing. When I make a mistake, I make a mistake, but when I get it right, that's not on me. That's the game. That's the game just deciding not to let me have it. That's the risk. That's. So what I'm saying is, it's rigged. I mean, it kind of is. That's kind of how it works, right? Um, that's why gambling is no good. I know, like speedrunners will usually just do this and then get away with like shit like that. I don't like to take any chances, but yeah, I probably could have, I suppose, overall have just saved some time, maybe. Like if I screw up here, this is on me. But if I screw up here, yeah, see there? That was the game. The game was telling me that we're not letting you have it. That's not on me. It's not. So, I don't know. I'm just really unlucky. Really unlucky. Just like with Monochrome shop, eh? One thing I would like to one thing I do want to do in terms of my channel, I do want to get off my ass and actually try and edit more and get highlights up. I've just been I've not been in the mood to do that, I'll be honest. I just haven't. It's funny. Um Usually what happens when it comes to editing for me, if I can push myself to do it and I get into a rhythm, I'm usually all right and I'll even enjoy it. But then there are times where things just don't quite click with me and then I'm just like I just can't be asked to deal with it. And if I don't have the motivation to do it anyway, naturally you're less inclined to do something, right? If you're not motivated to do so. Um, the difficult part is forcing myself to do it in the hopes that I'll want to do it if I force myself. It's not always the case though. There are times where I actually don't want to play any video games and I will force myself because I want to feel something and I just don't feel a thing and I'm like I don't want to play this or I don't want to play games. It happens, right? You just have days like that. Which sucks, but it just means that video games is not what I needed at that moment or whatever, right? I was trying to think of something, but no, nothing's coming to me right now. Like if I had to try and think of a positive, let's think about what did I like about this year. Well, let's just say gaming announcements. Like I say, I was very happy. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the Final Fantasy 7 stuff has been pretty strong this year. Um, yeah, I think it was this year that I finally got to play Intergrade with Yuffie DLC, and I finally got PS5, which is great. Um, like that's fun. It just gets me more interested and hyped for Fuck's sake, what is happening? Fine. At this point, it doesn't matter. Right, I'm at the threshold now. What wage you at? You're at 8. All right, now we're gonna have to work hard. Now here comes the hard part. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting abnormally unlucky with the reels. Abnormally unlucky, I would say. Not sure what's going on. I'm gonna give you this. Actually, you know what? Unfortunately, I don't remember which vegetable gives you stat boosts, and it's probably not that worth it, but I'll try and give him some. Unfortunately, this game doesn't tell you. I think Digimon World Next Door tells you, but not this game. It's, it's a PS1 game. It's very simplistic, right? That'll do. One of each. I know Super Carrot will lower your weight, but I don't remember which one boosts what, right? They just say boost training effects, and it's like, well, I would like to know which ones. Please tell me which ones. That would be nice. I figured if I eat both, that should do it. That should be alright. Just cover my bases. Right. $16. I think that was higher than what I had. I think. Okay, that was my fault. I'm having a bit of trouble here. I don't know if it's the emulator, but I'm having a bit more trouble following it than I usually do. I'll say that. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit here. Don't know. Dare I say I might have to get rid of my cards and try and buy a chip or two to try and push things along, because I'm struggling here. More than usual, I feel like. The struggle is real. Ow, 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 ow. But yeah, excited for more Final Fantasy VII stuff, which is funny because I never thought I would ever say that, considering I still haven't beat the original. And is it bad for me to say I don't want to? Is it bad for me to say I don't know if I can go back to it after remake? I don't know. One of these days, I'm gonna have to just try again with that game. I'm gonna have to, because clearly I like the story. Clearly I like the characters. Right? The game hasn't aged. I would argue that it hasn't aged well. But at the time, it was, it was pretty impressive, really, at the time. It is a beloved classic. I'm not saying it's not Footloose. But what I am saying is that I'm just not quite sure it's ready for me. I'm sorry. Just like everybody who loves the soundtrack of Sonic Frontiers, and I'm the only one who was just kind of like, it was okay. But none of the songs really properly hit me. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I hear the Supersonic themes, and everyone's like, oh, this is on par with Crush 40. And I'm sitting there thinking like, no, it's not. And I feel like I'm alone in that opinion. Like, apparently, like, Sonic Frontiers might be up for a music award, and I'm just like, I really am the only one who just thinks the music's okay. Don't I want to play as Blocky Tifa? Oh yeah, and Popeye Cloud, right? It might just be like RPG grindy type of stuff. Because I said to you before, I think, that I've always had problems with the Final Fantasy games. And I feel like it's usually because I'm grinding and nothing else. I feel like I get so stuck in the Final Fantasy game that I have to grind. And that sucks the interest out of it, if you know what I mean. I think that's the, like, I would say off the top of my head, that might be my biggest issue. My biggest struggle, shall we say. Right. I mean, classic Tifa is great, you know? I actually kind of like that. Even though remake sort of changed Tifa's design, you can play the well, you can play as basically the equivalent of OG Tifa in Final Fantasy Dissidia, right? Like an actual, like proper, like sort of PS4 model. Again, that looks different to remake, but that's basically the original design Tifa, but in like, modernized. Yeah, you know what? I think I am gonna cash in. I'm gonna try and cash in my stuff, my cards, not all of them, and I'm gonna see what I can get. And I think if I can't quite hit the requirements in time, if nothing happens, then I will shove Tyrannomon with whatever chips I have. I think that's the plan. That's what we're going for. FF7 isn't too hard. I mean, I hear that a lot. I would admit I do hear that a lot, Footloose. I hear a lot of people saying FF7 really isn't too bad of a game in terms of like difficulty and such. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, that's what I mean. That's why I feel like one of these days I'm gonna have to just figure out what it was, what it truly was. If it was just grinding or something else, what it was, the style of the game, I don't know. What it was that really just I just couldn't be bothered to finish it. At least, like, well, I can tell you right now, I didn't finish it back in the day because I never actually owned the game. I played it round like a friend's house years ago, and we played for a fair bit. Like we basically beat. Oh, I must have been around there for a while. We basically beat Midgar section, and I left Midgar, and I think that's about as far as I got. I got like the chocobo to try and like cross the bog or whatever, to try and avoid the big old snake thing that basically kills you early on in game. But if you know what you're doing, you can totally just get enemy materia and basically learn beta and then break the game early on. Yeah, I've seen Final Fantasy VII strats and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean that, and I never owned it. I went back to it when I was older, but again, I got fairly far, but then I just dropped it again. I don't know. I keep dropping Final Fantasy games. I just do. I don't know. That's why I say I have a very sort of, I feel like a love hate relationship. It's like I'll play a Final Fantasy game, and usually for a good chunk I'll like the game, and then something will just get me to stop. And I can tell you 10 100% was grinding. I feel like I was getting really into 10, even though Tidus is kind of cringe. Um, you know, um, and then I can tell you now, I basically got stuck. I can't remember like what area or what boss it was, but I can tell you definitely for sure I got stuck, and I just couldn't be bothered to level up. I didn't know what the best. Oh, I've gone to the wrong fucking place. Well, whatever. I'm not paying attention. I'm not. My brain's just not with it today. Um, yeah, I got stuck somewhere, and I just gave up grinding in that game, and I just never went back. Never went back. It's like fuck this. I can't be bothered, and that's it. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure I was more than halfway through the game. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember Footloose. You could probably tell me every name under the sun, and I'll just say I don't know because I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't touched that game in years. You wouldn't be able to, like, I don't think you'd be able to trigger any memories in my head that go, oh, that one. So, I don't remember. Yeah, I feel like I must have been close to the end because I swear I was at when I'm trying to think. I want to say, what was Tidus's hometown? We returned there. I think is that like end game or close to end game? Because I think I got all of Yuna's summons or whatever. I think when you return to Tidus's hometown, is that called Zanakin or something? Or am I talking out of my ass? I don't remember. Oh, hello. I see you in the chat. Om. Nice name. Welcome to the stream. It was most likely the millionth Seymour fight. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I don't even know if I even remember who Seymour is. That's how bad my memory is of that game. Right. So we get 100 points here for Phoenixmon, right? But I don't want to get rid of them all because I'm still need to get the medal for obtaining, at least one of every card. So for now, I'm gonna keep Phoenixmon, and I'm gonna try and remember to not get rid of all of them. So I've got like 4 Hercules Carbotariumons here. So yeah, is that? Oh, okay. So I was right. Oh, wow. Maybe my memory's not as bad. Maybe not. Um, I heard the remaster for Final Fantasy X was like a lot better, like quality of life. Like I think there's like a speed up function. I will say, honestly, probably the best thing about remastered versions, especially RPGs, is speed up function, especially when grinding. Like, holy! When I was playing Digimon World 2003 on emulator, that's all I did. I just used the emulator and just sped up the grinding because that game is so damn draining when you're grinding. And trust me, you feel like you need to grind a lot in that game. Oh, ah, crap! My light went off. Hang on a sec. I'll see if I can I'll see if I can redeem my light. Maybe. Actually, I don't know if I can because sugar. Well, I mean, I guess I don't really matter that much to be fair. Let's be honest, but um, maybe one of these days I'll go back to Final Fantasy X. I haven't finished 12 either. I got stuck on 12 as well. My teenage years of playing Final Fantasy games is basically I was enjoying it until I got stuck. That's basically all I can really say. I was enjoying it until I got stuck. And I just gave up. I dropped the game after that and never went back. Like, if I'm going to play 12 and 10, I'm starting again. I probably still have the 2000 and 2007 save file of the games, but I'm gonna start again because I don't know what the story is or anything. I don't remember. I only like sort of vaguely remember some of the characters because of like Final Fantasy Dissidia, but that's it. It's my fault. I didn't check my battery of my light, so that's on me. Ah, you know what? I'll leave it. What I will do actually is I will unscrew my light just a sec. Yeah, yeah, it's my bad. It's okay. I'm not important, so don't worry about it. All right. Anyway, I've always said that Final Fantasy is a series that I feel like I want to get into, but something always holds me back. Like always. Crisis Core for years was the only Final Fantasy VII game I beat, and I think part of the reason why was because it wasn't super long. And I mean, I'm playing through the game right now, and the only times I feel like leveling up helps, honestly, is in the missions. Like, I've been playing the missions a lot, and I'm like level 30. But at the point of story, I'm destroying everything. Like I'm killing boss fights so quick because I've at the point of the story I'm at, the missions have I've caused myself to level myself up, over leveled because I'm so early in the story. But if the missions keep unlocking, I can just keep playing the missions over and over again, right? The missions are the most difficult. The story of Crisis Core and that really isn't that bad, right? But like for years it was the only Final Fantasy game I played. I beat before I ever beat FF7, right? But I knew the story of FF7. So I didn't play Crisis Core and I was like, what's going on here with Zack and what's going on here with no, I with Cloud, I knew. So there was no big reveal for me because I already knew, right? I had the knowledge. I just didn't play the game, right? Not fully. But yeah, with Dragon Quest, outside of the only Dragon Quest game I didn't like was 7. I haven't played 5 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 1. I haven't played the old Dragon Quest games. I would like to at least try 3, 4 and 5 only because I hear good things about 3, 4 and 5. A lot of people love 3, 4 and 5. Dragon Quest 8 is my favorite. I like Dragon Quest 9. Dragon Quest 11 is fantastic. It's probably a close second to 8. Dragon Quest Heroes is fine. I like it. I enjoyed it. Haven't played Dragon Quest Heroes 2 yet, but I want to. Swords is okay. It's gimmicky. I think that might be it. Oh, and 7, but I didn't like 7. Let's say I didn't like 7. I haven't played. You know what? I haven't played. I haven't played the spin-off games for Dragon Quest, like Dragon Quest Treasures and such. I haven't played any of the spin-off games, so I have no idea if they're any good. Oh, my throat is killing me, man. Absolutely killing me. I bought the remasters on Switch. I'm hoping it has some quality of life stuff. Oh, you talking about the like Final Fantasy 10 and that? Yeah, I mean, because I remember, I assume this must be the same one that was released. I think it was released on like PS4 and such, right? And I remember that having like speed up functions and various other things. So I'm assuming it'll probably be the same on Switch. Honestly, the Switch is probably arguably the best for like RPGs and such. Like I would say, especially like you know if you're grinding or you're playing an RPG that's quite long and you can't always play your Switch sitting in your room or whatever, right? I'm probably not going to get too much here, unfortunately. I say most of the points in this game is from the big ultimates at the top. It goes 100, 30, 10, 5, and then 1. Don't bother selling the ones. It's a waste of time. I would still argue, I would still say get rid of the 5s, but then get rid of the ones. The ones are a waste of time. Like King Sukamon here is worth 30. He's not worth 100. He ain't that special, you know. And the chips do cost like I think they cost like 900. They cost a lot. Like you need to sell a lot of cards. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I honestly preferred 10-2. The battle system is very fun in that game. You know what, Footloose? You're not the first person to say that. This is what I've heard. I've heard story in 10 is pretty good. Battle system was okay. Story in 10-2, terrible. But battle system was really good. I don't know if you can confirm that, but that's what I hear a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are like, the story is just kind of like whatever in 10-2, but the battle system is phenomenal. So I hear. I'm curious, Footloose. Is 10-2 still a turn based or not? Is it like a variant on turn based? Because obviously 10 is. Builders are super fun. Yeah, you know what? I've been hearing good things about builders. My only issue, and this is a me issue, this is a me problem, is that when I think of builders, I'm thinking, oh, so it's a building game, right? You place blocks, you create. Like I'm not really that type of person. I'm not the type of person who will play Minecraft and make stuff. That's just not me, right? But I might like it. I might like it because it's Dragon Quest themed. I don't know, but creating things just doesn't really get me excited. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. I just don't think it's my thing. That's why I don't care for games like Animal Crossing and such. And like I think those games are good for the right demographics. I just don't think I'm that demographic. If you know what I mean. But one of these days, maybe I'll give Dragon Quest Builders a go, and maybe I'll like it. Who knows? I agree. Yeah, turn based. Oh, okay. With different costumes, they have different abilities. Yeah, I'm sort of aware of that. I've seen like diva, like singing diva, idol, Yuna, and like them all wearing bikinis and shit, and I don't know, various different things, and like Yuna with guns, and I'm like, this is a different. This is definitely a different tone to FF10. That's for sure. That's for sure. Oh man. You know what? You know what we didn't hear this year? We didn't really hear about Dragon Quest 12, right? Was it this year that it got announced? I forget. Or was it last year? I feel like I remember hearing about Dragon Quest 12, and we haven't heard anything since. Um no new news. So I don't know. In terms of the Dragon Quest fun, we did get, like I say, we did get the new Dragon Quest Treasures game. Um, don't know. I would know. What do you mean? Footloose. Do I look like video game stupid to you? Thank you very much. What do you mean? What are you implying, bro? Jeez. I have not looked it up, thank you very much. If anything, my first introduction was actually looking at the game in an old game store when I was in my teen years. I remember seeing it, and I think it might have been with Mark, actually. I want to say it might have been me and Mark in the game store, and I was like, oh, that's that sequel to Final Fantasy X, right? And I think at the time Mark said it was good, so I assumed he's played it. I think you watch, Mark will talk to me and he'll be like, "What are you talking about? I wasn't there. Were you dreaming or something?" I didn't say this game was good. I don't know, but I just remember seeing it because the front cover is just Yuna, Riku, and I don't know who the other chick is. I guess she's a new character because I don't remember her being in FF10. Um, and I mean, I'm just saying, the box art alone, the box art alone had me like doing this, being like, but also, they're all adults now, right? They're not kids anymore. They're full grown adults. And I was just like, and I was looking at the back of the case, and I was sort of like I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. At the time, I was probably thinking, sure, it's a good game. I couldn't tell you if I bought anything while I was there, but it wasn't that game. I just remember looking at the box and being like, huh, Yuna and Riku have aged up. And who's this other chick? Pain? Okay. Max Payne? No. Okay. Is it pronounced pain as in owl, or is it like pine or something? I don't know. I don't know how you Max Payne. How you pronounce that? Yuna was an adult in FF10 though. I thought she was like a kid. I thought like she was like a teenager or something. No, I could have sworn. I thought like her and Tidus were like same age or something, or similar ages. I thought they were like teenagers or something. I thought they were both like young teens. I didn't think they were an adult. Because I mean, I don't know. But when I look at like Yuna and Riku in 10-2, they look young, but they're 18 or 19 or something, or maybe early 20s. I don't know. Um, I didn't think Yuna was an adult in that game. I mean, put it this way, they both looked like teens to me, but this is also Japan, and sometimes Japan kind of makes people look like not their age, and I don't know, weird. I don't know. How old is Yuna supposed to be in FF10 then? Because I always thought she was like 13 or 14. I don't know if they ever mentioned how old she's supposed to be in game though. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Well, this is riveting. I don't have my soundboard on. Not today. I had to. I'm sorry. All right, we're getting into the fives now. We're almost done. I could probably get 3, maybe 4 chips if I'm lucky. Now the question is, which ones do I go for? And I think I'm going to go for defense, because I think defense is going to be the hardest one to achieve. Apparently it's 17. She's 17. Well, I mean, she's still in her teens. I don't care what I don't care about our law saying 16 is of legal age. You are not an adult at 16, just because you left school. Not in this country anyway. I mean, I know in America and other places it's 18, which I always considered 18 to be like you are a young adult, right? When you hit 18, not 16. But I thought she was young at 17. She does not look 17 in Final Fantasy 10. We're talking about 10, right? Not 10-2. 10. Like, she's 17 in Final Fantasy 10? Really? Huh. Well, alright. Huh. Fair enough, I guess. Think we're almost done? Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. Come on. Grind away. Maybe I'll try FF10-2 one day. For a laugh. I I hear it's one of those games. It sounds like it's to me. It sounds like it's a little bit like Crisis Core, where it's like people remember Crisis Core fondly, but then when they go back to it, part of the game is kind of just like, what is happening? This is a wild game, and it is. Crisis Core is an absolutely wild game. It gets better, and I'm talking about story wise. The story gets better, but at the beginning, it's just like, shut up, Genesis. Basically, like what the hell is happening? Shut up, Genesis. But when it gets to the later half of the game, it gets so much better, right? It's easily proven that your parents will walk in during the massage scene. Oh, oh, you're saying there was a massage scene that predates Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh. The question is it as suggestive in that game? I'm kind of curious now. Context? Well, actually, you know what? I don't know if I want to know. I don't know. Because, I mean, I'm just saying that hand massage in Final Fantasy 7 Remake was pretty suggestive. Oh, no, Numamon. Go away. All right, we're good. All right. I was 800, not 900. Yeah, okay. Um, okay, that'll do. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. That'll do, Finny. That'll do, Donkey. That'll do. Final. Welcome to the stream. Um, yeah, you can farm them. It takes a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. It takes a while, but you can. That's basically what I did in my practice run, so I can get max stats. I would arguably say it might be the quickest way to do it. It's still tedious, but it works. How long did it take me to get that many points? Well, we just you actually just caught the tail end of it. But basically, I did the money trick in this game, and I basically just mashed for a while. I did this in a previous stream. I mashed for a while to try and just get as many cards as I can. Hopefully, trying to get ones like Phoenix Mon here, because these cost about 100. If you can get like 9 of these, then that's 900. So you get 900, 1800, 2700, math 3500, I think. No, 3600, 4500. So that's 4500 points there. Granted, it might take you a while to get all those points. But, you know, when you have them, I mean, it really depends on how lucky you are. If you're really lucky on the card machine, right? If you're really lucky on the card machine, then you're good, right? And then you can just buy as much as you want. Well, as long as you have enough points, right? And I mean, as long as you have money, you can always buy cards. You can always buy cards, and you can always try again. But I've spent what 200k, over 200k out of my max bits. So, and I'll probably do it again, most likely. But yeah, I mean, look, put it this way. I don't know how else they expect you to get max stats in this game before your Digimon dies. I know you can keep your Digimon alive for a while, but even so, I would argue it's still a bit of a struggle, you know, in my opinion, anyway. All right, I'll feed you. You know, the one time that I didn't give myself some drink, right? The one time I'm like, I'm not gonna have a drink this stream, and now my throat is just hurting me like crazy. I don't know why, but it is, and it's really, oh man, it's like a burning sensation in your throat. It's horrible. I don't know what's going on. My throat was fine before I started this stream, so there you go. So I blame the chat. I blame you, chat. It's your fault. What did you do to my throat? Jeez. No, but I guess it's just me talking. I don't know. Oh yeah, that awkward FF10 to massaging. Oh, is it awkward? But Footloose, because I know you've played FF7 remake. Is it more or less awkward than the cloud massage scene? In your opinion, is it about the same? Curious. And the hot spring scene? Oh no. Oh no, don't talk about no hot spring scene. I already had the hot spring scene in Ghost of Tsushima with Jin Sakai's Jin Sakai's ass. More probably because it's interactive. Oh, you're actually playing the massage. Is what you're saying. You're not watching it. You're playing it. Oh shit. Well, all right then. Okay. Yeah, Final Fantasy X 2 is already sounding like one of those games. All right. Okay. So, would you would you say that FF 10 2 is like a game that probably didn't need to happen? If that makes sense. Well, I don't mean like in a rude way. What I mean is that um would you say like FF 10 2 kind of just exists? You enjoy it, but probably wasn't really needed. Like it probably didn't need to continue from 10, I guess. If you know what I mean, like since the story seems to be not very good, I'm assuming that the story doesn't really matter. No one really cares much for the story, so it's not really like you know what? Does that make sense? I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense. It's like hey, like a lot of people will say like a sequel to a game is really good, but the first game was perfectly fine on its own, and like the story was all concluded, and maybe it didn't need a sequel, but it got one anyway because it did really well. Here's an example. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time is a fantastic game, and it wrapped up the story at the end. You could say just leave it there, and that be it. The end of the Prince of Persia game. It didn't really need a sequel in terms of a story. The story was all wrapped up. It was all nicely concluded. But Sands of Time did really well, so they made a sequel. And there you go, right? Sometimes developers, they're like, "Oh, we're going to continue this game because it did really well. It did numbers, right? This game did absolute numbers." So, um, also, I enjoyed FF 10 2. The battle system with the dress spheres is a precursor, I feel like, to the. I haven't played 13 either, so I'll have to take the word for it. But that's another Final Fantasy game that I don't hear people talk fondly of. Is 13. Um, but you kind of have to. Sometimes you really just have to form an opinion on your own, right? You can watch as many reviews as you like, and you might be like, "Oh, this doesn't sound very good." But you also sometimes you have to just form your own opinion because sometimes you might listen to someone trash on a video game, but then you play it yourself and you might actually enjoy it, right? But you don't know unless you try. Sometimes you gotta just ignore the critics and just form your own opinion, right? I did that with Crash of the Titans, and now I can say that I don't like that game. So, and I gave that game a chance, and I like my first run of that game was literal hell. Like I drives me up the wall. I don't ever want to touch that game again. So, but I went in and I was like, I hear everyone talking rubbish about this game. Well, let's see how bad it is. Yeah, it didn't end very well. You know. I'm glad Final Fantasy X 2 is getting more appreciation. Hmm. Well, it's always nice to get appreciation for games, especially if they're underrated, right? Oh, he's actually. Hang on. He's actually overweight. This dinosaur getting thick, man. He's a big boy. He's a thick boy, and we need to do something about that. Need to get on the treadmill. That's the type of training we need. Big red boy overweight. Dinosaurs, man. I mean, did dinosaurs care about freaking like diet and weight back in the day? I don't think so. They're predators, and they, well, not all of them are predators, but they eat what they eat. I don't think animals really care at all, to be honest. Nature is nature and all that. There we go. Yeah, as a sequel, it wasn't necessary. Okay, one of those games. It's like, it's cool that it's there, but but you probably didn't really need it. Yeah. It's more like the game probably did well, and that's probably why they carried it on, right? Like Square milks the crap out of Final Fantasy VII because it really is their moneymaker. Even if you don't like Final Fantasy VII, like the thing is that Square sees money, so there you go, right? And well, money, and they admit that Final Fantasy VII was like, I don't know if I want to say they're like their child, but it was like one of the games where they really like they had so much passion for that game, and there are a lot of things they wanted to do with Final Fantasy VII that they couldn't because of limitations, and now they can re-envision what they wanted to do with that game. So there's that too, but Final Fantasy VII makes money, so you know. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You know, that's why a lot of games kind of just disappear into obscurity, is because if it doesn't do well, then naturally the company's like, well, you got to give us a good reason to revive Klonoa, and they tried to revive Klonoa, but I bet you anything, Klonoa will be forgotten until like another 5 or so years where they'll reboot it again. You know? Unfortunately, it is what it is, and my boy Croc is never going to get the remake that he deserves. God damn it! Oh, the justice. There is no justice. There is no justice. Final Fantasy 13 is very underrated. I think 13 was such a difference from 12 that it threw people off. Right. Okay. See, I remember enjoying 12. Again, another game I didn't finish because I got stuck, but I remember enjoying it. Like, I feel like I remember enjoying it, but I do think I got stuck again, and I was grinding. Because, like I said, that was, like, most of my problems with RPGs in general, but specifically Final Fantasy, right? Like, usually when I play Dragon Quest 8, even though at times I don't want to grind Metal Slimes, I'm usually all right with it. I'm usually fine, I'm if anything, sometimes I even enjoy grinding it in a Dragon Quest game. It really depends, right? Like in Dragon Quest 11, the way they sort of handle grinding is a bit different, but I actually don't mind it in that game because it's different, right? I think if you can make it so grinding isn't tedious, right? Then you're good. It's having to spend like so much time back and forth to get an encounter or something to get the most XP to grind, Sure, we had to do that back in the day, but this is modern times now, right? People's attention spans, like, we need to hurry it up, we need see, another reason why I like Crisis Core is that I feel like it's one of those games where you kind of just level up as you go. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, you don't really grind in that game. I didn't have to. The only thing I had to grind was materia for hard mode, and that's it. But in terms of story, I just played through the game and leveled up naturally, and I prefer that. I think that's so much better. I think that's better gameplay design. Then you can focus on the story and the fun combat and everything, and immerse yourself in the game, and not like spend several hours grinding I don't know, the cactus enemies. I forgot what they're called now. Well, I don't actually know what even is the like the rare enemy that gives you a bunch of XP in a Final Fantasy game or FF7. I don't actually know. But you know what I mean. The equivalent to like a metal slime or something, right? Yeah. FF7 prints money. We like money. We should make an ongoing arrangement. Pretty much. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, these are all gaming companies and they do need to make money. Doesn't matter if you love that obscure video game that they won't ever touch ever again. It didn't do well. You know, and it is what it is, right? It is a shame though. If FF7 on mobile, the original, probably. I don't actually know, but probably. I mean, it's technically coming to mobile if you count Ever Crisis. Also, isn't I mean you've got First Soldier. That's a mobile game, isn't it? But I'm assuming you mean the original FF7 Footloose. It probably is. I don't actually know, but it probably is. It probably is. I would be surprised if it isn't. It most likely is. But yeah, we also got like First Soldier, the you know, the not battle royale game, and Crisis Core, not Crisis Core, Ever Crisis whenever that comes up, which is going to be like, well, so they say it's going to be like 4 or 5 different stories, like all the FF7 stories. It's kind of wild. Maybe not before Crisis, but I still think it's wild that they basically included Advent Children, because Advent Children is a movie. So they're basically saying they're gonna what? Do Advent Children in video game form. Think about that. Well, if they ever do it, that is, because we haven't really heard that much of Ever Crisis. We see bits of Ever Crisis, but we have no idea when that game's going to be released. I'm still hoping it's going to get released for console, man. I so badly want to play it on like Switch or PlayStation 5 or something, right? I don't want to play it on mobile. Like, please, Square, release it on consoles. That's how I prefer to play Final Fantasy Tactics. Touchscreen is nice. Yeah, I mean, mobile gaming isn't going away, right? And there are benefits to certain games being on mobile. For me personally, you know, I've always been a console gamer. I am not really a fan of looking at a tiny phone and you know, tapping things or whatever. Like, I want to put a controller in my hand. That's just me personally. You know, and that's never gonna change. That's me. But yeah. But you know, some games benefit from them. Mobile games sell because they do. They certainly do. So they're not going away. I can tell you that much. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Pokemon's always going to sell, right? Nintendo realized that, right? I wish Sega would realize that a Chow game would sell. Or at least people would play it, for sure. Like, I'm telling you. There are people still pining for a Chow Garden in a Sonic game. And I still find it really strange that Sega has not considered making a Chow mobile game. I just don't understand. Don't understand it. Such a missed opportunity. Like, seriously. I mean, you've also got Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera, whatever it's called. You've also got that oh, I tried it a while back. I think it might have been earlier this year that I tried it. What was that? There was that other Final Fantasy game, but I can't. Brave Exvius, yeah. The game where it's like it looks like classic Final Fantasy, but when you do limit breaks, it's like CGI cutscenes, you know. And they don't just have Final Fantasy characters. They have like I think 2B from Nier Automata. They have various other like Square Enix characters in there. Um, yeah, it's very flashy and cool. Unfortunately, I kind of got fed up of the gacha system because it is a gacha game, and I'm not really the biggest fan of gacha games. And I was kind of just grinding. I was getting bored of it. Again, I liked looking at the flashiness and the cool CGI stuff, but I eventually just kind of like I stopped caring for the gacha game story. I don't know. I dropped it in the end. I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered. I dropped it in the end. I wasn't feeling it. They did a crossover with Sora. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I mean, it is Square Enix, isn't it? Please tell me this is Metal Greymon. Because I haven't gotten all the requirements, but this might be enough. He's not dead. He's digivolving, so... Please don't be Mega Dramon. Please. Okay, good. Cool. Alright. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Opinion on Metal Greymon. Do we... Right? Opinion on Metal Greymon. Do we like this version of Metal Greymon where he's all sort of like bluish, right? Like this weird blue, or do we prefer where he looks more like Greymon, where he's more orange? Like the anime has him like mostly orange. This version, he's all like blue and stuff. And I think I could be wrong. I think this is still a thing. This blue version. I think this blue version is still a thing, but they made it so I think this is they made it so it's the Dark Digivolution. So I think Black Greymon digivolves into this Metal Greymon. Like it looks like Metal Greymon, but like this. It's blue. And the normal Metal Greymon now is the orange one, right? Metal Greymon and his disappointing moveset. Well, in this game, yeah. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, kinda. I mean, Megaton Punch and All Range Beam are okay. I don't have the other move. I forget what it's called. Meltdown? No. Am I thinking of Meltdown? It might be Meltdown. I can learn that move though. So. Do I give him Heat Laser? Sure. Oh well, that's cool. So I've got the chips, and that's fine. I'll keep them for now, I think. I haven't really planned on a Digimon I want to, like, stuff chips in. But in my head, I'm thinking maybe I should just build up a bunch of chips. And then once I've got enough chips, I'll just choose one at random, maybe? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, since I didn't need to use chips here, I'm probably just going to keep the chips I've got for now, right? Keep them, stack them, all that, right? I still want to train a bit more, though. You might be an ultimate Metal Greymon, but you need to be buffed. You need to be buffed a bit more. Let's try and buff you up. But at least we've done that now, anyway. I actually like the blue. Yeah, I think originally the version was canon. Yeah, this version was, yeah. Because this technically came out first, before the anime, and the manga, I'm assuming. Stronger started. Yeah, it's almost like he's mutated, right? I think that's the implication. It's like a mutated Greymon. It's, you know what? Sometimes there are some interesting backstories into like evolution in games. Even like Pokemon sometimes has some interesting, like, why does this look like this, or why does this look like that, or what caused this Digimon to change into this. Some of them are interesting, some of them are not. But you know, like I said, I still like the idea of Gengar basically just being a Clefable, like the ghost version of a Clefable. Like, to me, that's fun. That's fun theory stuff, right? That's fun theory. That's the sort of stuff that I'm like, oh, that's kind of dark, but kind of cool, because I actually find that very interesting when you think of it that way, sort of thing, you know. All right. Of course, we've got to get the MP up because the MP is usually more of my problem, you know, with moves and stuff. Okay, you just want to toilet. Okay. Technically, I could just... Yeah, you know what? In this case, I'm actually not going to bother because I do need to eventually build up the virus meter so I can get Sukamon. I don't want Sukamon, but I gotta get him eventually, so... Sorry, Metal Greymon. Sorry. I got a mission. And I need to see it through. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you're angry with me. It'll be worth it, maybe. Ah, jeez. Yeah, okay. That's fine. I'll just give you a regular. Well, hopefully I'll try and do something with this Metal Greymon. As opposed to last time, I didn't really do much, unfortunately, because I spent too much time training. Yeah, that's true. King Sugamon can always change him back afterwards. But I probably won't do that Omnimon. Omnimon. Because I'll probably just Digivolve him into Atomon. Because I do need to get Atomon. And I think Sukamon's the only one who can Digivolve into him. Which isn't going to be easy. Because Numamon... I think it's Nanimon, Numamon, and Sukamon. When you raise their stats don't really go up very well. It sucks, right? It major sucks, man. But I'm gonna need to get Edamon. So it's either I give him the orange banana to turn him, not the orange banana, sorry, I think it's the golden banana. I think it's the golden banana to turn him into Atomon, or I do it myself. And I'd rather do it myself because I don't like using Digivolution items in this game because you don't get the stat boosts, right? You don't get the stat boosts. So I would rather not do that. But if I just wanted to complete the chart, I could, right? There's always that option. If I'm like, screw it, whatever, I'm just trying to fill in the chart, I can just throw Digivolution items at my Digimon and there you go. I could probably just literally go from champion to ultimate if I wanted to, right? I don't have a ton of Digivolution items, but I can get them. I can definitely get them. You get them for you can buy them at buy some of them at Shugon Gekomon, and you can win a bunch from doing tournaments actually as well. You get a free Vaidmon one in post game if I remember correctly. And I think you can sort of grind for it as well. Yeah, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna try to get my speed up a bit more. At least get up to 400 to be nice, and I think I'll do the same for brains. Just quickly do that. Don't mind Metal Greymon. It's just training in poop. Feels fair. At least wash your feet afterwards. You're gonna bring poop everywhere, man. That's so unclean. Hang in there. We're hanging in there. Right. We're not gonna get too much done today, unfortunately, because we are only on a 2-hour basis. You know what? Let's try and learn Meltdown. Is it Meltdown? Is that the move I'm thinking of? We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll find out. I think it is. Yeah, that's another thing. His move's called Giga Scissor Claw. It's not even a claw. It's just missiles. They changed it to Giga Destroyer. But in this game, it's called Giga Scissor Claw. It might be a Japanese thing. I don't know. Because, like, again, in the like the dub anyway, in the anime dub, Greymon's move is called Nova Blast, but I think in this game it's called something else. So, before and after, like the changes that they make and such, right? So, um, yeah, you know what? I'll go with this. I should have, yeah, we're fine. Like for now with items and such. Yeah, see, look, Phoenix Mom. So it's you do tournaments and you get Digivolution items. So if I really wanted to, I could just be like bah. And if I wanted to be really cruel, I probably could just literally force the Digivolution to Champion to Ultimate, kill the Digimon off, kill them off, then rinse and repeat. If I really wanted to do that, like that could be a fast way of just filling out the chart, right? I could do that. Oh, my throat, my throat. Um, I don't know. I might sneak off and just like get a bit of water or something just to try and clear my throat a little bit. Maybe in a little while we'll still see. Pepper Breath and Baby Fame. Yeah, localization, dubbing, things like that. Like Omnimon and Omegamon, right? Omegamon being the Japanese name, Omnimon being the dub name, things like that. It's a very common thing. It's only really I think it's only really a problem when the dub kind of doesn't really translate it very well, which does happen quite often, and sometimes the context makes less sense, right? Sometimes it does, but then sometimes the reason why things have changed because the Japanese are the Japanese, and sometimes some things are just like, yeah, I don't think that would fly out in the West, so they have to kind of change things because it's like, yeah, that's a bit sus. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. Yeah, so the not monochromons, I think they're called Vermiliamons. These guys, they have the move that I want to learn. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to fight all three of them, which is fun. But hey ho, I guess. Hey ho, here we go. Come at me, bitch. Ow. Yeah, all of you are getting all ranged. All ranged beam. Also, great name, by the way. I mean, it literally does what it says on the tin. It's just an all ranged beam. I mean, would you really call that a beam? Is that a beam? I don't know. I guess, sort of. Eh. Limitations of graphics? Yeah. Well, I don't care. It's powerful, it hits everything, it's fine. Ouch. Wait, have they even used the move? I don't even think they have. Hang on a sec. Hang on. I don't even think they've used the move. Come on, use it, use it, use it. Not that one. You know the one I'm talking about. Burn, but not that one. The other one. The other fire move. Come on. No. Come on, you know you want to. Okay, they're not gonna do it, are they? No, you're just gonna do flips and summon rocks. Watch me flip! Blah! Rock attack! I'm an earthbender now. Let's go! Speaking of earthbending, apparently I hear that they're doing yet another legend, like another Avatar Legend of Aang type of show. Another one. I didn't even watch Korra. I watched Avatar back in the day, but I never watched Korra, so I don't know if Korra's any good. But how are you gonna use the move or not? I'm gonna have to finish you off because okay. He's like, I'm just gonna do flips. Watch me do flips. I'm on a Kramer. Do a flip. Oh, of course. When I ask him to do it, he doesn't do it. Jeez. There it is. Finally. Oh, okay. Now you're getting the Giga Scissor Claw. We didn't think about this name. Don't worry about it. They're claw missiles or whatever. I don't know. Disco Inferno. And of course, I didn't learn the move. Surprise, surprise. Well, we're at it again, folks. The joy and fun of trying to learn the moves. All right, let's go. Back in, back out. Leave it up to me. Huh? There a fourth one? Who's that? Who was that trying to sneak into the battle where they don't want to join in, whoever they were? Oh, it's you. Okay. Fucking wire Fightermon from Super Smash Bros. Melee. Oh, I'm out of variouses. Oops. Also, they did the move, so I didn't have to worry about. Okay, I don't have any variouses. I should have stocked on some. I didn't realize. That's my bad. All right, time to all range beam to death. Let's go. Now everyone's all Tamagotchi. I think I used to have a Tamagotchi. I think it might have been just a Digivoice, which is basically the same thing, like back in the day. Yeah, I wasn't very good. I wasn't very good at it. I can tell you that. I wasn't very good at it. Well, I can tell you which move that Metal Greymon likes so far, you know. Yeah, there we go. Punch him. Punch him. All right. I was waiting for it. I'm mashing the shoulder buttons before it even comes up, and I missed. That's fine. Also, Metal Greymon's kind of right in my face. He's like hugging me. He's gonna squash me. You're gonna kill me, Metal Greymon. Never mind. I'm clipping. I still didn't learn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Oh, round 3. Round 3. I think round 3, and then I'll go and see if I can clear my throat. I don't know where I was going there then. For a second. Oh, look, it's the same scenario. It's fine. I would much prefer to fight these guys on their own, but you know, it is what it is. Ha 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 ha! That's what you get. That's what you get. I got all 3 of you. The triple Tamagotchi. Bro, does anyone remember Furbies? Those like weird, creepy bird things. Like electronic bird toy thingies. I remember when they used to be all the rage back in the day. Oh no. Oh no. Furbies are kind of creepy. I agree. I agree, Footloose. I never saw the appeal of them personally. I never did. Granted, I feel like Furbies might have been more of a female thing. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll let you guys decide. Should I finish the story now, or should I wait and do it another stream? Obviously, we're not done with the game after the story. But I'll let you guys decide if you think I should do it now or do it later. Do it another stream. I'll try again. What's the time? Could I? We've got about 25 minutes. Could I do it in 25 minutes? I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay. I think Omnom might be right there. I think I might have to. I know I just suggested it, but I think I might need to leave it for now, just in case. Just just in case. Because yeah, you're right. I don't really want to rush it. Um, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I'll have enough time to do it quickly enough. So I probably should wait for now. Yeah, you know what? Perhaps we'll do it next. We'll do it next stream. Yeah, okay. That confirmed it. We'll do it next stream. Then we'll have plenty of time. Metal Greymon, what were you doing there? You look like you were shimmying or something like. What happened? I don't know what was going on there. Megaton punch. Megaton class attack. Megaton class attack. Yeah. I didn't know Hercule was in this game. And surprise, surprise. All right, we'll keep trying to learn Meltdown for now then. Um, but I will just get a quick beverage to try and clear my throat. So I'll put the break screen on. I'll be back in a second. There we go. There we go. All right. Little. It helped a bit. It helped a little bit. I think it might have been just what I was eating was making like my throat sort of a bit acidy, I think. So I think that'll do for now. Right. Uh, I'm debating to go back and just get some variouses. Yeah, I'm right here. It's fine. It's fine. We'll carry on. Nope. Ooh, gonna have to learn this move eventually, so if I can get it now, that would be great. That would be really great. I'll tell you what. We'll we'll end on my favorite shop. How about that? We gotta end on a high. Not a high for me, but high for someone. Ah, because that went so well last time. But one for the road, because we won't be back with Digimon until next Friday. So, which actually, what date is that? I actually don't know what date would that be. Oh, the 30th. Okay, yeah. All right. Cool. So, we may or may not learn this move today. It's fine. I'd like to learn it now if the game wanted to put pity on me. That'd be nice. You already learned Meltdown and Monochrome. Yeah, I learned Meltdown Footloose, but Metal Greymon didn't. Meltdown was inside me all along. I didn't realize, you know? Ah, shit. Oh shit! As soon as I pressed it, I was like, this isn't gonna end well. Make me learn the move. Come on. Come on. No. Okay. I'm thinking maybe one more time, maybe two more times. I do not want to fight you. Go away. Go away. Go away. Okay. Good. Yeah. That shop. Fun. We're not, put it this way, we're not going to get the All Medals done before the end of 2022. It's definitely going to bleed into next year, but that's okay. That's fine. not like I've got any. I must stream something new in 2023. It's fine. Yeah, we'll just keep it going. But I think I'll wait. I think I'll wait on Batman until I'm done with both Digimon and Crisis Core. We'll put it this way. I suppose if no, never mind. I was like, if somehow I beat Digimon before Crisis Core, but that's not happening. I'll be done with Crisis Core soon. I don't think it'll be many more streams because I'm not gonna do all the missions on stream. I can tell you that much. I'm not. I'll probably do most of the rest of the missions off camera in my own time. Because there's so many missions in Crisis Core, so many, and I don't know. I feel like they're not like super exciting to watch, if you know what I mean. It's fine playing them for the most part, at least in this version. In the OG version, because the game was PSP and it was very slow, it just felt very grindy. I feel like, okay, we'll do it one more time. I feel like the missions in like doing the missions in the original PSP version of Crisis Core was very slow and grindy. But with this new version, it's so smooth and so quick, right? You get the mission, you're in it, you're there. The combat's, great. Like yeah. Like doing the missions feels so much better. So much better. There's really no point playing the original Crisis Core anymore, as far as I'm concerned. There really isn't. Like unless you're like a proper purist and you really can't stand Zack's new voice actor, then you might. But that no, like, but anyway, yeah, we'll definitely be done with Crisis Core before we're done with Digimon. That's for sure. Definitely. Definitely. I still do want to play Legend of Legaia eventually. Eventually. And I do actually want to, since I've been in the mood for Bayonetta since Bayonetta 3, I do want to go back and play the Bayonetta games, and I'm thinking of streaming them. I'm thinking of streaming Bayonetta 1. I don't know if I'll do a marathon, I'm not sure. But I do want to go back and play Bayonetta 1, 2, and then eventually 3. And I will stream all of them eventually. I just don't know if I'll marathon them, if you know what I mean. Because I've made that mistake. I've made that mistake, and I don't know if I really want to make that mistake again. So I'll probably stream 1 and then take a break, and then I'll stream 2 again at some point. Plus we've got the Bayonetta Origins, so naturally I want to play that and see what that's all about. Please? Jeez. I think I'll leave it there. We tried. We tried. Man, just... Nope. 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 Just... Nope. Nope. Just don't want to learn it. We'll try... It's okay. We'll try again next time. We'll try again next time. Alright, let's go deal with Monochromon. Yeah. Yeah. My favorite. I'm ready. That's all I'll ever be, I guess. Yeah. I nearly went to the wrong place. Is it still playing the yoga theme? Yep. Ooh. I'll take that. So for some reason, Angemon wanted me to fall off this cliff. But it's got nothing to do with recruiting anyone, so I don't know why he wants me to do that. To be honest, I didn't even know that Angemon basically like tells you to go and do that. I'm like, but why? He's supposed to only tell you about like recruitment, right? But that fool has nothing to do with recruitment, so I don't know why. Maybe Angemon's got some sick fetish and he just wants me to get hurt. I don't know. Maybe he just secretly wants me to fail, hopes I die off a cliff or something. I don't know. I don't get it. But you know who does want me to die of frustration and all sorts of emotions that I dare not want to feel? It's fucking... Ah. It begins, boys. Sell it at regular price. You charge too much? That's what I think. Are you shitting me? That's what I think. That's what I think. Oh, look who it is. You better buy it and then never come back. Look, just like buy like 3 or 4 medicines, and then you can all go away. And then I don't care if you leave after that. You know? I don't care. I want some meat. Sounds like a you problem, buddy. What do you want me to do about it? Do I look like we sell meat to you? I didn't think so. Here we go. 50-50. What do you reckon? I'll try and make it easier. 50-50. Is he going to say, dude, wrap it up for me? Or is he going to say, you charge too much? Survey says, you charge way too much. There it is. Let's do it again. Second time I got it. Second time I got it. That's the thing, right? If they buy medicine, you can't really afford to not sell it for a high price because it's the only thing that gives you profit. So if they're like, I don't want to pay it, if they're literally like, I don't want to pay for it, right? Then you're probably screwed. You can get lucky. Like I got very lucky there, right? I decided to just say screw it, and I got lucky. But the last time I did that, they left. So, which, to be fair, I get it, because if someone was trying to charge me more than what they actually usually charge, I don't exactly want to pay $4.99 for something when it's supposed to be $1.99. It's like, no, it's $1.99. Why are you trying to charge me $4.99? Retail sucks, man. Shout outs to all of you that work at Christmas. I'm trying to think of the word that's not envy, because it's I feel for you. I know what it's like. I've been there. I don't do it anymore. Hopefully I'll never have to do it ever again. But yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. So yeah, shout outs to everyone having to work, specifically in customer service. I'll say that, especially retail. You watch. No one's gonna buy medicine now. That was just the one, and that was it. And that was it. I need a portable potty. So many people needing to go for a poo, bro. You're eating too much. Maybe you need some medicine for your irritable bowel system. Oh, here we go. Place your bets, people. Red Penguin. How about I sell 1,000 bit medicine for 1,100 bits? Is he gonna disappear, or is he gonna say I'm leaving because you're a bitch? Red says no. You think he's gonna say no? You called it, Footloose. You called it. But like I said, I can't afford to say no. I can't afford to. So RNG basically has to either say yes or say no. So there you go. The game said no. Oh no, it's another one. Okay, whatever. Take your portable potty and leave me alone. Oh boy. At this point, I need like a counter for how many times I've failed this. Because I think this is a record for me, personally. This is a new record. I hate that Red Penguin. Don't we all? I hate the weed, the weed mon as well. Well, I'm pretty sure we've lost. Unless someone buys like 4 medicines in a row or something. Right? So, because we need like, we've worked out that we need 3,200 or more, right? See, this is I usually don't mind Gaburamon, because Gaburamon, if he buys medicine, you can usually, yeah, we lost. We can usually get away with it. All right, we have enough time, I think. Looking at the time, We could probably do one more. Yeah, okay. We can do one more and then that'll be it. And then we're wrapping it up again. The same way we wrapped it up last time. And then that'll be it. I'll let you guys know as we are kind of, going to be wrapping up after this. Um, I will be streaming tomorrow. Obviously, I won't be streaming on Christmas Day. Uh, and then I will be back on Tuesday. I'll be streaming Crisis Core tomorrow, and I'll most likely be streaming Crisis Core again on Tuesday. If I finish it by Tuesday, there will be no stream on Wednesday. But if I don't finish it on Tuesday, then there'll probably be another stream on Wednesday. I feel like it's going to be 2 or 3 more streams, and I'll probably be done with Crisis Core, I think. Let's say it's not a super duper long game. It's if you're just gunning for the story, it's not super duper long. But we will be back with Digimon, as always, on Friday. Oh, first customer, Gaburamon, place your bets, people. How's 1,000 bit medicine for 1,200 bits? Is he going to say yes or is he going to say no? Is he going to make me regret praising this guy? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. He took it. All right. 500 bits. All right. He's still in my good books. He's the only customer I like. I don't like you. You can go away. Think of your smug ass happy face. Get the fuck out. I'll have you for Christmas dinner. Alright, take your potty and go. Oh no. You're just as bad, honestly. Like, you just want me anyway. Take your meat. Don't even know what quality it is, for all I know. You're probably going to have to cook it. Wait. Did I not sell that at regular price? It should have been regular price. Perhaps I didn't realise. That was my bad. I got lucky then, if that's the case. Medicine. No. No. I was hoping Shrek would come in and help me there once again. We at halfway yet? Not yet. So many potties. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sell it for me for a lower price. You know what my manager would say? No. That's what my manager would say. How about these box of chocolates? I need to sell them. We can make money. Yeah, you won't be saying that in a minute, Monochromon. Shut up. You won't be saying that in a minute. We can make money at 1,100. We can't make any money at 1,100. And we put up a party. Why should I sell you? I don't like customers like you. Get the fuck out. Fuck, he came back again. His brother came out and I sold it at a regular price, and this bitch was like, I ain't paying regular price, bitch. You sell it for cheap or I won't buy it at all. I didn't even sell it for a high price. Bastard. Absolute swine. This red bird is a menace to society, man. Absolute menace. Eliminate him. Don't ever serve him ever again. If he goes into your shop, be afraid. Be very afraid. Report him to the police. Oh, you want to buy it. I know you don't. Well, too bad. Well, I've lost anyway. So, again, I cannot afford not to sell medicine at a high price. I can't. So if the game says they don't want to do it, then the game says they don't want to do it. Oh boy. Honestly, I could literally make a compilation video of the amount of times I've failed. That's how many times I've failed. That's how many times. Just a stupid compilation, man. Yeah, whatever. Shut up. Honestly, because that was such a waste of time, I didn't even need to save because I literally just did the same thing. So I'm actually not gonna save because I already saved. So oh well, no surprises there. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next Friday. I don't know if we do more of this, of course, but we'll be back with more Digimon next Friday. If you are celebrating Christmas, I hope you do have a good one. If you can make it tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I will hopefully see you guys sometime next week. So have a good one and